Dr. Packer, if I can turn to you next. I'm curious, in this season of your life, you've written many books, you've accomplished many things, you're still actively teaching at Regent, but I know you have many more things that you want to write. We talked about last night. Why did you decide to devote so much time to the ESV translation and now to the study Bible? You could be doing so many other things. What's its strategic importance, and why did you want to be a part of it?
Well, I think there's no higher privilege for anyone than to project, communicate Holy Scripture to people, and the project of improving on the Revised Standard Version to produce the English Standard Version, that grabbed me straight away as soon as it was put to me, and I think that God enabled us to do a good job. Then, when I was asked if I would help with a study Bible that would help people to get into the real meaning of the Bible text, once again my heart said, yes, this is priority. Priority in itself, and therefore priority for Packer. And I made time to do it, and I must confess that by the time that the editing task that I was charged with was drawing to an end, my enthusiasm level had risen so high that when the next envelope full of articles for the Bible came from Justin, my heart said, well, this is the first thing for you to do now. Previously, I'd fitted in some of this work in the intervals when I wasn't doing things that I thought of as more important. Now, my heart said, there's nothing more important. And so, towards the end of the time, Justin was getting back the material that he'd sent me almost before he turned round, weren't you, Justin?
Yes, thank you again.
It's a great privilege to work on a project that is going to bring the Bible to people, bring them understanding of the Bible, teach them to love the Bible and to live by the Bible. I said when the work of translating the ESV was done, that perhaps this is the most important thing that I've ever engaged in anywhere, any time in my ministry. I feel like saying that all over again in relation to the study Bible. It's an outstanding piece of work, and it's been an enormous privilege to be part of it.
Just to be clear, it was not merely a consulting role. You read over 1.4 million words and edited them on paper. So just so nobody thinks that it was merely offering some trajectories or some advice, that we deeply appreciate all of the work that you did, the many hours that you invested into the project.
Well, thank you, Justin, for saying that. I can only reply, when one is asked to be an editor, one edits.
I know another self-designation, or perhaps your favorite self-designation of your ministry and gifting is adult catechist. I wonder if you could explain what you mean by that and how you see that role relating to the ESV Study Bible.
Oh yes, thank you for asking that question, Justin. I'm delighted to explain this. The ministry of a catechist, an adult catechist, is something which the church of the early centuries understood very well. Every church worth its salt had an adult catechist to instruct inquirers. And the catechism ministry, first to adults and more recently to children, has fallen very much into disuse in our time. And it is my privilege, I think, first of all, to appreciate its importance, and then myself to try and model it in the writing and the teaching that I do, and then in this particular project to contribute to other people entering into the ministry of the adult catechist and certainly many more people profiting from that ministry on paper, because that is what the ESV Study Bible really is. Catechists teach people the truths that Christians live by and teach them how to live by those truths. That is what the material in the ESV Study Bible, taken as a whole, actually does. That's the benefit that the reader of the Bible, the reader of the Study Bible, will get from the articles on Christian doctrine, on Christian ethics, on Christian faith and life, and a Christian stance in relation to any number of errors and alternatives that our time has produced. So that, in fact, it is a catechizing document. It gives you the equivalent of a one-volume commentary on the whole Scripture. It gives you these marvelous study aids in the form of the maps and the pictures, which are really outstanding. And then on top of that, it gives you this material that shows you, at basic level, how it all applies to life. I think it's the first study Bible that the world has seen that has taken on board this catechizing vision and has set itself to fulfill this catechizing task. And that means that it's going to be doubly useful. It will do for all that older study Bibles have done for them, and much beside. And when one thinks of pastors in situations where they can only have a very few books, well, the study Bible will really serve as a compendium of Christianity to resource their living and their teaching, and to make the purchase of other books, which is out of their reach anyway, that much less necessary. And I am thrilled, frankly, as I look back on what we've achieved and think of how useful it's going to be in future years. Yes, I'm an enthusiast.